Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hey there, Ringside Crew. What's going on, everyone? It's the Metal Geek. Joe's MIA right now, so I'll be taking over the show right now. So, what's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? How's it going today? Anyway, so just want to cut out a couple of quick things right now. That what happened on Friday's show. You know, hope everybody's okay with Friday's show. It's pretty scary stuff what just happened, so I just want to hope everybody's okay. Just scary stuff happened Friday, but you know, we have a very special guest today. We're gonna introduce a special guest, none other than she is the wave maker, Shelby Waters.
Hi, how are you, everyone?
What's going on? How's it going today?
Not too bad. How's it going with you?
Good. How's it going? So if our fans aren't not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
My name's Shelby Waters. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I trained at Backbreakers Training Center in Archibald, and currently I'm working for Triple WA in Quakertown.
All right, that's awesome. Do you have a dream place that you would love to go to, or
Right now, I want to work some places down south, and around here, I would like to work for PPW.
Yeah, PPW. That's a great promotion. That the owner Paul Bro, he's so awesome, by the way. So big shout out to
He's a nice
PPW.
guy. I met him.
Yeah, such a super cool guy. So shout out to Paul Bro right now. So you know. But yeah, so do you ever have any plans to come up towards New York, or
New York isn't far from me at all, so I would love to come down to New York. New York City scares me because there's a lot of cars, and I grew up on dirt roads, so all those lights and cars make me a little nervous, but I would be willing to go down.
Yeah. So out of all the opponents you had, who would you say your favorite opponent is? That you liked watching?
When I first started working, I had a few matches with Adina Steele, and she's always going to be my favorite. We trained together, so shout out to her.
Shout out to Nadina, because she's been on a podcast before too. She's awesome, so you know. Yeah,
no, she is a great person and a really good worker, and I'm like so proud of her. She came a long way.
Long way, yeah. She's racking up those titles right there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, right now she has a bunch of them.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite band or no?
I'm sorry, what was it?
Do you have a favorite band, like music that you enjoy, like when you're getting ready for matches?
So if I'm trying to calm down, I'll either listen to Falling in Reverse or Green Day. It depends on like my mood that day. If I'm like in a really happy mood, I'll listen to Green Day. If I'm like a little more nervous and I just need to like calm down, I'll listen to Falling in Reverse. Yeah. Just a little more heavy. I think it helps.
What would you say your favorite songs from them are?
Green Day, either probably Church on Sunday or Deadbeat Holiday.
Yeah.
And then Falling in Reverse, honestly, I love all of their songs. Like, there's not one that I don't like.
Yeah, obviously the best song is Good Riddance, Time of Your Life. That's probably one of their best songs. That's a classic.
It is a really good one.
Classic right there. Welcome to Paradise. My favorite album from Green Day had to be obviously Dookie. It was probably one of my favorite albums.
So I might like get like crucified for saying this because I know Warning, that album, it was like by far one of everyone's like least favorites. I loved that album.
Which
Loved
one?
it.
I'm
That is
sorry.
the Warning.
Warning, yeah.
Yeah. Love that one. That one is like all-time favorite album from them. But it's funny because I tell people that and they're like, that's their worst album. But I like
Yeah.
it.
Everybody in the chat, man, just if you want, you could get involved. You could say what your favorite Fall in Reverse, your favorite Green Day song is, and we'll read them off on as we go along. So, but yeah. So, like you said, Green Day's one of your favorite bands. What would you say your favorite movie is? Because it's the Halloween season, like there's a lot of scary movies going on.
I'm not a scary movie person, but one of my favorite movies would probably be Chronicles. It was the one with it was like three teenagers and like a meteor or whatever came down and they kind of got like superpowers, sort of.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more of a TV show person.
All right. So, what's your favorite TV show then?
Bones is a very high contender. The Walking Dead, and then Naruto, Grey's Anatomy. I get wrapped in the drama. I'll admit.
Who's your favorite Walking Dead character?
Norman Reedus, so Daryl.
Everybody loves Daryl, man. My favorite character in The Walking Dead was always Glenn. Glenn was my favorite. So spoiler alert, who's never seen the show, when they killed off Glenn, I was so upset. I'm like, I'm done with this show, man.
I was traumatized. I literally just stared at the screen. I'm like, what? But
I think they'll be.
oh, it was bad. I met both the actor for Glenn and Daryl. When I met Daryl, that was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life because he started because we went to like take a picture and he's like, "Oh, what's up, cutie?" And I squeaked, and then I lost feelings from like my legs, from my hips down. Like I completely lost all feeling in my leg, and I was like, "Please don't fall, please do not fall." Oh, but it was so worth it.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, out of all the characters, like when they killed off Glenn, I was like, I'm so done with this show. But if they would have killed Daryl in that show, man, the show would be definitely over.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
They could have the way they went with the show, I wasn't too happy about, but I still love the show. But like with Glenn's death, it was like awful because spoiler alert, when Abraham died, like I knew it was gonna be him. Like I knew it. So he died and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can accept this. And then they killed Glenn and I was just so traumatized because I wasn't expecting it at all after they killed freaking Abraham.
And they killed Carl too, man. I thought Carl was gonna be. I think Carl was gonna be in it towards the end of the series. You know what I mean?
Well, if you ever read the comics, that's what the comic ends. It's him, at the end, telling the story about. I don't know. I did also meet the actor for Carl, Chandler Riggs, who's like super nice.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a lot of Walking Dead conventions.
That's awesome, But yeah, so like I said, it's Halloween. I mean, I was gonna say my favorite scary movie would have to be Insidious. Every single time that movie, me and my girlfriend watch that movie all the time. We watch the movie and she's freaked out at that movie. That movie both scares
Rightfully
the
so.
shit.
It's horrifying. I was jumping and hiding, and I wasn't even watching it. My face was covered, and I was still getting. I was still hiding.
Yeah, me and you were talking about that before the show started. That you said that your friend actually, you and your friend made you watch Insidious, and she's like, oh, you said, oh, it's not that bad, and then you said, wait till a little bit later, and then halfway through the movie, you're like,
it got bad.
It got bad. What would you say the scariest scene was?
For me personally, it was they were like sitting at the table, and it just cut to the guy sitting, and then like the demon thing behind him. That
Yeah.
sent me. I jumped so far, and then I forget what the other like what I forget the context of it, but it was like the picture with the girls in the picture that also scared the crap out of me.
The second one was really, really terrifying. You know. I don't
And
know.
my friend watches that by himself. He loves that movie.
I can't even watch that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon without getting freaked out from that movie, man. But, geez.
No thanks.
Yeah. But yeah, you're also coming back from an injury too, as well, right? Do you want to talk about that a little bit more?
So, of this year, May 27th, I had ankle surgery. I had my tendon repaired because I must have injured it when I was like really young. Like I asked my doctor like roughly like how long it's been like that, and based on everything, she was estimating it like I probably tore it like almost 10 years ago. But it was causing me problems now, so they put the graft in. Everything went great, and about like almost 3 months later, I was back in the ring because everything went great. I healed really fast. I didn't do anything crazy when I first got back, but everything went great. And then I had my first match back at Triple WA, September 24th, I think it was. So almost 4 months later after the surgery. But that was also my first match back since 2019 because of like everything with COVID and everything. So it was it was very interesting to come back fresh off of ankle surgery and then just having my first match back in a while.
Yeah, that's crazy. Also, so what's your pre-match ritual? What do you like to do before a match?
I try I get very nervous. I won't lie. I'm always nervous with it. I just try to distract myself with other things. Like if I have a friend there, I'll just try talking to them. If I'm more nervous, I'll like listen to music. But I really just try to kind of not focus on what's about to happen, and I just like focus like in the moment what's going on.
So yeah, but yeah. So, do you have any social medias you want to plug or?
On Facebook, I'm just Shelby Waters, and then on Instagram, it is _Shelby Waters. I don't use Twitter. I won't ever use Twitter. I hate it. But I do like Instagram, so I'll be on there mostly.
Do you have any upcoming shows too, or?
I have a few. I'm just blanking on all of the places. I'll be at Triple WA next month. I know that. I'm blanking on all of them. Basically, I think every weekend we are working, except next weekend. But yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, that's what usually happens to me too. Usually when I'm like good like before the show, and then as soon as the live button goes, my mind goes. You know what I mean? It's like I threw everything out of my mind. It's like, what just happened? You know what I mean? All the questions. That's it, man. But like I know Halloween's also approaching. So, what would you say your favorite candy is for Halloween, or chocolate?
All right. I might get crucified for this too, but Reese's cups. But I hate the ones that are shaped like things. I don't like the Christmas trees. I don't like the bats. Don't like the heart. I hate those. Those are like the worst to me.
So the pumpkin ones, even the pumpkin ones are the worst ones. Those are the best ones, man.
No. They come in like the big like pack, but it's the snack sized ones. Those I will down, but I hate all the other ones.
Yeah, no, those are my favorite ones. I like either the Christmas tree ones or the pumpkin ones. Sometimes they have the ones that are shaped like the Easter bunny eggs.
Yeah, no, I get yelled at by by everybody for that opinion, but that's like my hot take for Reese's cups because you need a good ratio from chocolate to peanut butter, and like all those ones that are shaped like things, there's just way too much peanut butter. So, and then sour punch straws are also my favorite candy. I love those
Yeah,
things.
what would you say the worst candy is for Halloween? You'd say that's disgusting.
The Hershey's, those like Mr. Good bars. I don't know. I like Hershey, but like not those ones. That does not. I don't like those at all.
But yeah, so yeah, I was just about to say, the worst candies for me, and I'm gonna get crucified on this one, are Peeps.
Oh no no no! I will agree with you. Peeps are
Peeps,
disgusting.
Peeps are the most disgusting candy, and people are like, how do you not like Peeps? How do you not Peeps? I'm like, I can't stand them.
They're disgusting.
They're disgusting. How do
I
people like those
actually
marshmallow things, man? You know?
I actually have a funny story with Peeps. When I was 10, I had to get my appendix out, and the night before, like honestly thinking about this is making me a little nauseous. But the night before, like I was 10, I was at a sleepover with my friends, and we were having Peeps and like ice cream. And that night, I got really sick because it was a symptom from my appendix. Really sick. It was really bad. So now, whenever I see Peeps in the store, I like look away because I instantly just remember that night. And then that next morning, my parents picked me up, and I was taken to the hospital, and then had my appendix out.
Jeez. Tracy Jackson wants to know, how about the vanilla Reese's?
They're
No?
not good. I don't like white chocolate or dark chocolate. I really only like milk chocolate.
I mean, I'll have them. I like the pieces are okay, but the cups are probably the best. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
It's like, I don't know what...
What are they? The Reese's sticks. Those are really good.
I don't think I've seen those.
They're really good. They kind of like are like a way better Nutter Butter. Those like things are.
Everyone who's in the chat right now, just please write out your favorite candies. So there you go. So this way I could highlight them. So, but what is everybody's favorite candy? So, or if you don't like candy, you just say what your favorite chocolate is. You can write your favorite chocolate. So besides candy, what would you say your favorite food is?
Rotisserie chicken.
Rotisserie chicken.
Oh, I love it. That's my guilty pleasure food.
Mm-hmm.
Or pickles.
What's the worst food you say?
Ooh, the liver.
Liver?
I can't eat like that. That's the smell of that stuff is just disgusting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone with low iron, my doctor wants me to eat it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, no thanks. I'm also not a steak person, which I get yelled at for. In general, I really don't eat red meat very often. I'm more of a chicken person, but not a fan of steak.
Mm-hmm. In my closing, what would you say? Where do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years?
I'm not gonna lie. I like think about this a lot, and I really don't know because I feel like every time, like I'm starting to do something happens, it just changes, or like what I want changes. So I just kind of take it like day by day anymore.
Joe's late to class.
Hey guys.
How are ya?
We got held up. I'm so sorry.
You're good. It happens.
Yes.
We're about to finish the interview though, so if you got any extra questions.
I'm so sorry, guys. I had technical difficulties and stuff like that. So, but my last question is there any other place in Pennsylvania that you haven't been to yet that you would like to travel to?
Definitely PPW. That was like when I first started training, that was just one of the promotions. Like they always did really good work, it looked like. So I'd like to go there.
Okay.
But I do have more time. We're good for a little while.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Again, I apologize for being late.
No, you're
Technical
good. It happens.
reason.
I have
Yeah.
ADHD, so whenever I say I'm going to be on time for something, it never happens. It usually doesn't happen.
Yeah. Ooh, my
Geek's
favorite
always the late
candy
one.
is always my favorite candy is always Skittles.
I like sour Skittles.
You know
So,
what? I've been looking for those again for a long time because anywhere I go lately, they don't have them anymore. What is with that?
now that you're like, actually, I think you're right on that.
Yeah, they don't really sell them
I,
too much.
I like sour candy in general. Like I do not eat spicy food at all. I hate it.
Mm.
But sour candies, I will down those bad boys.
Yeah,
Tracy said that Jolly Ranchers were one of her favorites. Those are really good too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, before we
Jolly
went
Rancher.
live, I think you said something about like what is it, like there's some promotions in Pennsylvania, or because I know Joe was trying to find some promotions to go by him, so
Yeah,
So
and I was telling you that there was like I found out the reason why nobody come to the high school near me. One of the wrestlers told me why. You want to know why?
oh boy.
Apparently, they didn't. The promotion. It was so like that's why on Twitter I put the face palm with a bunch of people doing the face palm. Apparently, they set up the ring, and me, I'm just a podcaster, and I think like a promoter. If I'm setting up a ring, I'm putting something under the ring, like a pad. You know, what I mean, like
Yeah.
a ring pad. They
Yeah.
said this. These people, ding, 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 set up a ring in the middle of a basketball court with nothing underneath it, and pretty much scraped and messed up the basketball court.
Yeah, then whoever did that is kind of a moron because
Yeah, and
you
they
always
scratched.
that's a
put
bad
something
promoter.
underneath.
Right, Geek? Isn't that a
That's a
bad promoter?
That's a bad promoter right there. Yeah.
Like, right, guys? It like you put a pad under the ring, like a gym mat or something that
So-
cushion.
For my training center's ring, we for a while those like foam like puzzle blocks. That's what we used for a while, but we actually just got a foam thing and glued it on. So now like it's fine, but like if we need a little extra cushioning, then we'll put the foam back like underneath it just to give it a little extra. But in general, you want something underneath there. It's maybe I don't know, maybe they forgot. Who knows?
But I was like, who does that? I'm like, if you're setting up a ring and you know there's a basketball court right underneath the ring that it's made out of wood, right, Geek?
Yeah.
Like as I said, I'm just a podcaster. I'm not an owner. I'm not a promoter.
I know how much of a headache it is to be a promoter, though.
We talked to a lot of promoters and stuff like that, and owners. So like, sometimes they're such in a rush to set the ring up because they just got there from like another part.
What's the word? They have also a time window. They said, okay, you guys have to be out by 11 or 12 or whatever the time is, and you have to be in there. So it's like they have to rush to get everything done, and it's like they're thinking, okay, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. We got this person has to. It's like everything has to.
Thankfully, like I've been lucky. Like my training center, like we have a group of guys, and whenever we have to take down the ring, set it up, 45 minutes, it's done. Like we have a nice smooth. So we don't have that issue, but I can understand like why other people would because everyone's ring is a little different, but.
It's something. It's something that like that one thing, that one little teeny. Oh, it's not teeny. It's a ring, big, but that little thing got every other wrestling promotion banned.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
And it's sad because I live in this little teeny weeny town, as I told you in the chat. It's one light, and back in the 2007, 2008 year, there was like 2 or 3 shows a month. And
now,
like,
I know there's New Milford and then Milford.
There's just Milford. It's just called Milford.
Okay. Then maybe it's a different part of the state or something. But you're not very far from Scranton, right? Like it's
I'm pretty close. Like maybe an hour.
Okay, so I know there's a promotion in Hazleton.
Mm.
There is Smash Master, which is in Troop, which is like basically Scranton. It's like it's literally like where the promotion we run. It's right on the border. Like if you go down the street, then it's Scranton again.
Okay.
And then there's gonna be another promotion up towards Hazleton somewhere. But I'm very bad about knowing where towns are because like I'm from the Carbondale Scranton area, and until wrestling, I only was in the Carbondale Scranton area. I didn't go anywhere else. So even when with wrestling now, I just put in my GPS and I just go. I don't.
Yeah.
I think that's how it is in Pennsylvania. You think you know where you're going, and you end up in the middle of the woods going, ah, it said it was right there, but it's like you're on the opposite way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's all these
Yes,
little windy roads.
sorry.
See, Geek doesn't understand this because he doesn't live in PA. PA talk right now with Shelby and Joe. Like, where to get back to where I live, I have to take all these little windy roads in the dark with 2 or 3 lights, tops, maybe no lights, where I was driving around with my
Yeah.
dad. And it's rough.
Then you have to worry about all the deer and the bears.
Yeah, and it's rutting season now, too.
My final question is, you have such a cool name, like the Wave Maker. How did that name come about? Exactly.
I honestly have no idea. I don't know who started it. I had a promo and I said I was coming to make some waves and then by the time that I got to the show, it was my nickname. I mean, I'm happy that like I didn't have to make up a nickname for myself because I'm not very creative when it comes to that stuff. So, whoever made it, thank you.
But and it's such a compliment because like Okada's the Rainmaker, so I guess you're the Wave Maker. So to be called something like that to like one of the best wrestlers of all time, it should be a compliment. You know what I mean?
I'm excited. The person making my shirts, she was like almost done with my design, and then she broke her 2 fingers, so she can't finish it until they heal. So I'm hoping by the end of next month that I'll have my shirts, hopefully. But that is gonna be on on the shirt design, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You should have like a bottle of water or something like that with your name on it. Or something like that.
Or like
you know?
like have a bottle of water tipped over with the spray bottle, like the fan. Get it?
Yeah.
Wave. Maybe like a wave.
As a merch then.
You know, like code, like so, like wave and has a bottle of water with like a spray, the fan, so it looks like it's wave. So wave maker, get it?
Yeah.
No, here we go. Wave with the waving hand maker, like someone with a hammer and nail. If you don't know code, then you don't know your name.
What? It's really funny when I'm in the ring. I'll hear some of the like fans like saying some stuff, and like it just has me like I trying not to laugh. Like at the last show, someone's like, "I bet she can't swim," and I lost it. Like I thought that was so funny.
Does she need floaties?
Those New York fans, man, they know how to like make these chants. Like I think I think I was
New York. They make the weirdest. Hey, what's going on, Gary? They make the weirdest like chants. Like Geek can tell you, like there's a promotion he goes up frequently, and
we were talking about Creator Pro. She knows about Creator Pro.
Oh, she knows about Creator Pro. Oh my God,
Yeah.
those crowds! I watch them on Twitch. And I'm just like, really?
There's a wrestler
Those
named
are the kind of crowds you need, though, because like when you have to work in front of a dead crowd, it's tough.
No, it's like there's a character. His name's the Sweeper, Eddie Pervetti, and his gimmick is he just sweeps the ring. That's his whole gimmick. That's what he does. And sometimes he wrestles. He actually wrestles, and the crowd goes crazy for them. It's like a Spike Dudley. You know what I mean? Like you just can't help but go crazy for him. Like they'll start chanting like random stuff like "You need a raise," "You need a raise," or something like that, or like
That's
when
funny.
when he does something crazy, like they'll chant at him, "Holy sweep, holy sweep, holy sweep." Yeah, like
I
those crap.
personally like love like the dad joke kind of stuff. Like just stuff like my sense of humor is so dry that that kind of stuff is like right up my alley.
But yeah,
Ooh, I have another question. One more question. What is the toughest Pennsylvania crowd you have encountered so far in your young career?
So since I'm like really just coming back, I've only worked in front of my backbreakers crowd and then Triple WA,
Okay.
and um honestly, both crowds are amazing. I haven't had that issue.
Hmm.
Um, I know it's gonna happen eventually, but both of the crowds that I've worked in front of were amazing, and I didn't have any issues.
Hmm.
that's awesome. Yeah. So we
And especially with like Triple WA, like that, they have such a great crowd and great fan base.
Ooh. Do you have any upcoming shows?
I I do, but I don't remember where
Oh,
when.
okay.
Joe, remember him, Joe.
Well,
You put
if
it
you
on the
have any
spot.
posters after the podcast, you could send them to us, and we'll post them on our Instagram and promote it.
Thank you. Yeah, I honestly like I told him earlier, like once I get asked something, it's either like I remember it instantly or it's just like out of my brain forever.
Yeah, that's what I just said earlier before Joe cut out on the screen. I said like as soon as the live button goes, it's like Joe says squirrel, right?
My brain, I think I remember a name, I got a nickname and everything, and when the live button goes on and I'm getting all excited, hyperactive Joe, it just goes off.
Yep.
It's like somebody signed me out of my Apple ID. I'm like, who am I?
Yeah.
Where am I from? Why am I here? Who are you? Yeah. It's like my phone with don't disturb. Like 10 billion text messages and I don't even see them. It's like driving. It's like the driving setting on an iPhone. My brain goes blank.
I I was gonna say I don't think I actually told you guys how like I got into wrestling.
Go ahead.
Um, so with me with how I got into wrestling, it was kind of funny. I was gonna do kickboxing because I was just like at a point that I wanted to do something. I just wasn't sure what. So I was like looking into kickboxing, and then I worked with someone who did wrestling for like backbreakers, and I didn't know like what exactly he was talking about. And then he's like, "Oh, just come down to one of the shows." And I was like, "Oh, like it's actual like professional wrestling." So I was telling him how I was going to do kickboxing, and he's like, "Oh, we'll just like come to the tryout, see if you like it." And yeah, I just started wrestling. That was that was it. And then I took a little bit of a break, and then I came back, and then I graduated in 2019, and then with COVID and everything, I afterwards I came back for I want to say I was like back for like 4 months, but then I needed the surgery, so I had to wait again. But
Yeah.
we're good now, so as long as I don't break my ankle, we will be fine.
Keep
Fingers
your
crossed,
fingers
right?
crossed. We know you're gonna do big things, Shelby, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck in all your upcoming matches and all your career. Like you're good. Like
Thank
we're
you. I
proud of you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, who knew it? Who knew if you wanted to do kickboxing and then you say, you know what, I'll give this wrestling a try. Who
Yeah,
would have known? You know.
it was such an impulse, like, all right, let's do it. And I've made so many friends, and I'm very thankful. And even now, like my best friends, I wouldn't have any of my best friends if it wasn't for wrestling.
Yeah.
I think us too.
Yeah. It's like the same thing with us. Me and Joe was like, we made so many friends doing this podcast.
Not only
even funny.
podcasters, we've met really cool wrestlers like you. We met so many. It's like I told us the geek. Did you ever imagine we'd be talking to wrestlers in England, in Scotland, in
Yeah.
Portugal, and like wrestlers that are now been on
Ireland.
AEW Dark? And he's like, no, and I'm like,
And then we watched these wrestlers and we're like, holy crap! It's like they were on like the first few episodes, and I'm like, look what they're doing now. You know?
yeah, like
It's
it's amazing.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was even just telling my friend, I was like, could you see like our lives without wrestling? Like I even when I wasn't wrestling and I was like during one of my breaks I wasn't sure if I was gonna come back, but then I saw what my friends were doing, and I'm like, all right, I'm back.
Yeah. Ooh, Geek, someone in the chat, I don't know if you saw that, they said vanilla Reese's.
Yeah, that was earlier.
I don't know if you noticed it. Like, yeah.
That was earlier, Joe.
I know. Sorry.
You missed a lot. You're late to school, Joe.
I know.
It happens. It's okay.
Yeah,
he's late to the class.
Yes, I'm always late for. I try to be early for class and beat Geek here, but today
it's like the movie. There's something about Mary. It's like you're fucking fired.
Yeah,
I'm on the billboard. How can I be fired?
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, like with me with like actual school, oh my god, I was like such an underachiever. I was like never there. I passed, but there was like times I remember it was like my junior year of high school, and I would like it was like after the holidays, and like my family is Italian, so we eat a lot of lasagna. I love lasagna, and I would just bring lasagna to school. Like I would eat it during homeroom. I just did not care. So.
Oh,
we have
something wicked's coming this way, Joe.
We have a friend in the chat. Oh man, that's a future podcast guest. His name is Scarecrow. He's from Long Island.
Yeah. He says hi.
I've only been to New York. We were just down there the 15th in Binghamton, which Binghamton's really close to me. Like it was like less than an hour drive. But we were just down there, and I was only ever in New York one other time for it was when I was in high school. I was doing cosmetology at CTC, and it was like one of the conventions. We had to go down for the day, but it was the only time I was ever in New York. And it's funny because they're like, oh, like we're so close, like why don't you just go? I just kind of hang out in my little town.
All the scary wrestlers seem to be coming in our chat right now.
It's like it's Spooky Wrestling Month. Well, think about it. Shelby could be counted as a sea monster. She's a water maker, so that's kind of like
the wave maker. The wave maker, right?
But she's a friendly wave maker. She'll protect.
I'm like the least intimidating person until you like. But if you mess with my friends, that's it.
See, as I'm saying, she'd protect us from all the monsters that come
in the chat room. Like you get like the Scarecrow and the Ians in the chat, right? And the Ian, the end is near guy.
Now I'll tell you though, my biggest fear is moths. So if Mothman ever comes, y'all are done because I'm not helping.
Have you seen those moths that have been coming through? The ones that with the red on the wings? Sorry, got you, Shelby. My bad.
I hate moths. Moths are my first fear, and then the dentist.
Oh, I had to go. I had to get a crown, and I was like, man, please inject something in my skin.
I just don't think that if you decide to be a dentist, like if you want to stick your hands in people's mouths for a living, something is a little off there.
Yeah.
But hey, it's money, so
yeah, it's dirt. I call it dirty money because you're putting your hands.
I can never do that. I swear, being a dentist, man.
How do you what are you gonna tell people when you go to a bar? What do you do for a living? I'm a teacher. I'm a grocery worker. I put my hands in people's mouths.
Exactly, it's gross.
No, get out of my restaurant.
I drill people's mouths.
You nasty person. You nasty. Hit them with the you nasty button. You nasty. Go find another restaurant. Go to McDonald's. Weirdo.
Joe, you also forgot one scary person in our chat that comes in our chat sometimes.
Oh, there's a guy from England called the Virus.
The Virus, he comes in our chat.
Have you ever thought of wrestling overseas? Like the Englands and stuff like that?
I hate planes.
Oh, okay.
No.
No?
I went when I was in high school. I went over to Europe, and it was like a 13-hour plane ride. Well, I don't ever want to do that. If I ever have to get on a plane, I'm gonna be drunk.
Oh, geez.
I will remember it because I did not enjoy that plane ride.
What if you had to take a boat there? Would it be even worse?
No, I rather like a boat is fine. I don't, but I don't like planes.
Hmm.
It's like if a boat sinks, you have a chance of surviving, but if a plane crashes,
You know,
you ain't getting out of that one probably.
you'll Titanic that stuff to get out of their door.
Exactly.
Like door style. I could swim, geek. How about you?
I could swim.
I will MacGyver that, Shelby and geek. I'll put my phone in my mouth like a dog and be like, "Dog, you have it." Like, I'll save my iPhone, save my best friend, and save Shelby, and be like, "Let's go, get on my back. I can
As
swim."
long as there's no shark.
That, and I'm an idiot. I'll think a dolphin's a shark and panic. Like, Joe, it's a dolphin. You sure? Fins are fins, bro. Fins are fins.
Yeah, and Joe would have been like, I'm not taking that chance.
Yeah, I'm not taking that chance. Find a door, geek. Find a door. Find a door. Find a door. Find someone to float on. I ain't doing
If it's a
this.
fish, anything with fins, that's it, man.
I'll even use my
shoes.
shoes as paddles to get myself to go faster.
I will admit, Titanic is probably one of my favorite movies too, though. That was a good movie.
You know what's
but
funny?
the ending.
Sorry.
That pissed me off.
A while back, my friend actually got tickets for the Titanic Museum they had in New York City, and the weirdest experience this is a Halloweenish thing. The weirdest experience I've ever remember my entire life. It was so cold, even though they're Titanic, but I felt so many weird vibes. It almost wasn't it like it was supposed to be like, oh, the Titanic could come. Nah, bro, I'd never do that again.
Tracy says they look the same until they pop out of the water.
Yeah.
She's talking about the shark.
Hop out of the water like Jaws on you.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, oh, it's a fin. Screw it. Let's go. I don't care if it's a fish or a shark. We're moving. Let's go.
He is taller than us, Shelby. We'll get on his shoulders. I'll find a boat. I don't care. I'll see if someone going past, and I'll start throwing stuff. I'll throw a shoe at their boat. Make sure they can't. It's my right, geek. Get attention.
So, what would you? All right, back to wrestling anyway.
Yes.
What would you say the best advice you ever received was?
With wrestling, for me personally, my biggest thing is like and this is any wrestler, but it doesn't matter if you have a really good match, you're still gonna think that it was a bad match. So, the best advice that I was probably ever given was just to relax and like have more confidence in myself, because and like I said, it's any wrestler, but that's like my biggest like thing is just like the mental block for wrestling for me. So I definitely would have to go with that one.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of like me and Joe basically. Joe's like, "Oh, it was an amazing podcast. It was an amazing podcast," and I tell him, it was okay.
You know why I do that, Shelby? Because I feel like we got everything done within an hour or 2 hours, but geek thinks it's okay because he thinks, this part was bad and that part. I sometimes, certain podcasts, I feel like we did the right things, unlike today with the delay, but I feel like right now I got every question I needed to ask you. And then
that's what matters.
Yeah. Again, I'm sorry.
I always say, like, because I'm like the toughest critic on myself because I just want myself to be better. So that's why I push myself. It's like, it was okay. I could do better the next time, And
another big thing too with wrestling is like I feel like you really have to surround yourself with good people, because there is some people that aren't as good, and then you're gonna have your best friends. And for me personally, like from when I first was doing my matches, first training, I was with a different like kind of group compared to now. Like now I feel so much better about myself and like what I can do in the ring, and I'm way less like worried to try new things. Like, so it's just like if you're around better people, you're more calm, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel the same way. Like the people we always hang around with our podcast family, they give us so much, like,
Energy.
they give us, like, tell us a lot of. Sometimes I don't take the advice. Sometimes, like, all right, I know what I'm doing. I'm on camera. I'm staring. I'm talking to them, asking questions. Sometimes I go overboard, but I like to ask questions that people want to hear after the fact when they're listening on the radio side of the podcast thing that we put it up there. Like, I know people want to hear this and that about this person they've never heard of. Like, we have fans in England that probably have never heard of Shelby Waters, and I'm like, now they heard you and they want to look you up and check you out, and they say, oh, she's done this. Okay, she never wanted to come to England because of the planes, but I can still look her up on YouTube.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's fun. And it's also funny too if you try to like explain wrestling to someone that's not in the community. You sound crazy.
Yep.
Exactly.
All the time at work.
No one understands it, and it's just like this little like side community. But you know, it's I wouldn't change it. I love it. I love my friends that I've made. And I personally, like, I love seeing them, like, my friends, like, I will always go with them to shows just to support them because I want them to do good. You know, I'm just doing this for fun, and I want my friends to be as best as they can and do whatever they want.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so, like I said, we want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast, by the way, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Someone in the comments.
Want to know who your favorite wrestler is, but I think you told me about 4, right?
So my favorite are always going to be my friends. So Adina and Autumn Breeze, they are both great people. Even though Autumn just beat the crap out of me yesterday, but
that match will be up on YouTube tonight, right? Or today?
I'm not sure because the last match I had there, it took them like 3 weeks, but then I know some people's matches are like right up, so probably just depends like when they
put it up,
what they're doing. Yeah.
I subscribed to the channel last night, so I was like, I watched the full tag team match, but I was bummed. Seeing you're so young, you're coming back to the business. I thought myself, being a wrestling fan, I'm like, they're gonna have Autumn put you over, and I'm like, come on, no, let her get over, let her get a victory.
I've known Autumn for a couple of years, but Autumn's been in the business almost as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
And
you told me on Facebook, I was like, whoa.
She's such a great person, and she knows what she's doing. She is great in the ring. And that tag team match, oh my gosh, that was brutal because that match I think was like 13 minutes long, and it was like me getting my ass beat for I don't know if I can curse.
You curse.
I was getting beat up for like 10 minutes, but it was fun. I had a good time. It was definitely a good match for me to come back to. I wasn't stressed about it. Like I actually I felt good about it. So it was a very good, coming back to wrestling match. And the other 2 ladies, Dodge and Ronnie, both great. I had a lot of fun with all 3 of them.
La Fun, was it?
La
Fantastic.
I can say it in my head, but I can't.
I was trying to say when I was watching the match, La Family. I'm Spanish. How can I not say this name?
La Fantasia, something like
La
that.
Fantasia. Yeah, because I remember following her, and I'm like, La Fantasia. I'm like, my white side, my Italian side is trying to say it. La Fantasia. No, Joe, you're half Spanish. La Fantasia.
Yeah,
I say it like
all
a
3 of them. I love them.
Yeah, they both seem really cool. Both send our love. Tell them we say hi.
I will. I'll be seeing them soon.
Yeah, and please tell the rest of your roster from Triple WA we say hi, and we definitely would love to have all of them at some point on our podcast.
Yeah, no, I'll tell them to message you on Instagram and just check out your socials.
Yeah.
And the owner, your owner too.
So the owners just switched over. So I was kind of like there, you know how it is. It's a little crazy right now, but once things like, I think,
Gotcha.
oh, there's just so many people.
Jeez.
So my final question is, like, if you could give like wrestlers that are training today advice, what advice would you give them?
I'd probably just give them the same advice that I was told, is just don't be too hard on yourself, because everyone learns things like in different ways. Like for me personally, I was like I couldn't do like everything because I would just like try to think it in my head and it just wouldn't compute, or I was scared, I was nervous to do it. But just don't be hard on yourself because you will learn it eventually. And there's things that will become second nature, but a lot of people they get in their head and then they don't think they're good enough, and that is definitely not the case.
Okay.
We want to thank you again for coming on the podcast. You've been awesome.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. We'll definitely have you back on in a future episode. Definitely.
Yeah, just message me.
Cool.
All right, well,
I'm the Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther III.
And I'm Shelby Waters.
And we will catch you in the next one.